Hi everybody, Elin here. If you hear weird sounds, then it's Luna. You're not allowed to play with the tripod. No. So now when it is October, it's time to do a wrap up of September, and I did read 20 books. Listened to a total of 20 books, but a lot of them were quite short, so not as happy about that as I would have been if they were longer. But I did read 20 books, so I'm pretty happy about that because that's a new personal record, and my old one was 19, so it's not by that much, but it's still good. So today I'm going to tell you guys which books I read and a little bit shortly about what I thought about them. I won't talk that long because, like I said, there's a shitload of books. So I did read Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer, and in this one you follow Aiko, which is a character that is in the Lunar Chronicles, and you really do need to read the Lunar Chronicles before heading into this one. But this is a graphic novel, but it's quite long, so it does take a while to read it, but not really very long, I'd say that. But yeah, I really did like this one, and I like the artwork and everything, so I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then we also have Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo, and it's about Wonder Woman, so I mean, do I have to say more? I mean, superpowers and cool stuff. And I absolutely loved this book. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing, and I love the characters, and I love the fact that it isn't a romance that is like the main point of the story. And it's so kick-ass, and I just loved it, so I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I also read 4 graphic novels, besides Wires and Nerve, and I read Saga Volume 3, Saga Volume 4, Saga Volume 5, and Saga Volume 6. And they're all written by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples. They're all really, really good. I gave Volume 3 and 4 I gave 4.5 stars. Volume 5 I actually also gave 4.5 stars, but Volume 6 it was 4 stars. But in this series you follow a girl who tells the story, and she's quite small in the beginning of the series. And the thing is, her parents are not really allowed to be together because they come from different planets, and these planets are in a war against each other. So you get to follow that from the girl's perspective, and it's really fascinating. And yeah, I love the artwork and everything. Loony. And then I also reread actually Ute de Vilda by Aaron Hunter, which is book 1 in the series called Warriors, and as always it was awesome. So you have the cat called Rost, he's called in Swedish at least, and he is living with the humans, but one day he actually takes the courage with him to go out into the forest and... What the hell was that, Luna? And hunt mice, and he meets these cats that are in a cat clan. Loony, why do you keep pushing everything? That sounded like you hurt. Are you okay? Yeah, she's fine. Anyways, so this is the second time reading this, and it's really, really good, and I gave it 4 stars out of 5. That's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, with the original illustrations by John Tenniel. Dude, don't stand on my ukulele. Go away. And I mean, it's Alice in Wonderland. Of course I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because nothing else was a possibility. And then I read this book. I mean, it's a school book, but Undervisning I flerspråk i förskola by Heidi Harju-Lukanen and Anne Kulti. I'm not going to talk about this very much because it's a school book, but I did read the entire thing, so kudos to me. And then we have Vi mot er by Fredrik Backman, which is book 2 in this series called Björnstad, or Beer Town as they call it in English these days. And this was pretty darn awesome. It's quite thick, but I mean, you just fly through it, and I love this series, even though it's focused a lot around hockey, and I'm not really interested in hockey, but it was so much fun to read, and just to read about the repercussions from the first book, and you know, it's amazing. Then we have a review book, which was Vit Syren, written by Cecilia Sahlström, which I got from Bokfabriken. We meet Sarah Wallén, and she works with the police, and her son is suddenly a suspect for a brutal assault of this girl, and she's just trying to figure out how to prove him being innocent. So it's a little bit bloody, but it was really good, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have Efter Emma by Anna E. Wahlgren, which was a review book from Bokfabriken. And in this one you meet Emma, and her friend Sarah goes missing, and she's trying to figure out what happened to her. And this book has so many twists and turns, and you never see what is coming, and it was really interesting and fun read. And I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have Super Charlie och Skurksystern by Camilla Läckberg, illustrated by Millie Cesari, and this one I bought at Bokfabrik. And this one I bought at Bokmässan, and since I'm studying to become a kindergarten teacher and I love reading at the same time, I'm always looking for nice and funny children's books. So this one's really good, and I mean, it does have a little bit more text. I think this is for 3 to 6 years old or something like that. But I really did like it, and I mean, it's about kids having superpowers, so it was awesome. And I did give this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have a book I read for school, which is also a children's book, and this is called Snäll by Gro Dale and Svein Nyhus. And yeah, it's about this girl, Lucy, and she's so nice all the time that one day people just forget about her, and nobody can see her anymore. And it was really interesting read, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have a book that I bought at Bokmässan because it was awesome. And I mean, look at the illustrations, it's so gorgeous. So this book is called Piraterna i huset intill med familjen Jolly Rogers, and it's written by Johnny Duddle, and it's so beautiful. And it was a Luna. She's biting on everything. So it was really fun read, and I mean, who doesn't love pirates? So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then we move on to the audiobooks and ebooks that I've read this month. First ebook I read was On the Fence by Casey West, who's definitely one of my favorite contemporary authors these days. And in this one you meet Charlotte, and she's sort of a tomboy, and she's preferred to be called Charlie, and her father is a cop, so she's been getting a lot of speeding tickets, but she's always been able to like talk the cop out of it, because her father is a cop and they know who he is. But this time that does not work, and she has to get a job to be able to pay the fine, because her dad is tired of this happening all the time. So yeah, she gets this job at a cute little store, and you know, she meets a guy, and it's so cute, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. We also have Stars Above by Marissa Meyer, and this is a collection of short stories that are about the characters from the Lunar Chronicles, and it sort of evolves around them when they were younger, before they were turned into into wolves, and before you know, shit happened really. And it was really good, and I like the stories, and I felt like you get to know the characters a lot better, so I did definitely like reading it, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, and in this one you meet Marine, and she's really been talking to anyone from her old life, but because that was before her grandfather passed away. And this book is really about, you know, grieving and coming to terms with a person being gone and everything like that. And I gave this book 3 stars out of 5. Winter, which was the first audiobook I ever finished listening to. I'm not really good at listening to audiobooks, but I'm getting better. And this one is written by Marissa Meyer, and it's the 4th and last book in the Lunar Chronicles. And in this one you are introduced to a character named Winter, and it's supposed to be a retelling of Snow White. and I mean I really did like it. I did not like Winter as much as the other characters because I felt like she wasn't as kick-ass, which is definitely something I like more. But I did like it, so I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last book I'm going to talk about today, which was technically the first book I read, was P.S. I Like You by Casey West. So I read 2 Casey West books this month and it was so awesome and I want to read more. Unfortunately I don't have that many other books left to read. Write faster, Casey West! And in this one you meet Lily and she writes this note on her desk, and one day someone's actually answering her back on the desk. So they start sending these little notes from, back and forth, and they're answering each other in class and everything like that, and Lily's trying to figure out who the hell is answering her messages. And I mean, I thought it was kind of obvious who the other person was, which sort of, you know, reduced the excitement and mystery a little bit. But it was still a very good book, and I mean, it is Casey West that she can do like no wrong. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, that was all of the 20 books I read in September. I definitely hope I will be able to read even more in October. I hope so, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. I'm very interested in wanting to know what book you read in the month of September and which one you liked the best. So if you want to share that, please comment down below. And yeah, if you like this video, please give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope we'll see each other next time. Bye!